Hello agents, in this video I bring you the 5th out of 6 build videos that we use for Operation Iron Horse on a Division 2. This is an explosive resistance build and it's absolutely perfect for the final boss fight on Operation Iron Horse because there's loads of explosions. You've got mortars, you've got the boss firing rockets at you, and on the final phase those rockets can be one shot, they will take you down. This build gives you every chance of staying up. The only way you're going to go down if you've got some vanguard and you've got armor is if you're standing near other players and both of you are being targeted. Two of those rockets will take you down, but as long as you're not standing near someone else that's flashing red, you should not go down. I've tested it, you can see it on screen now, my tests. Also the mortars from the train, they're absolutely irrelevant. It's a great build to use, and what I advise is people that are doing this for the first time, make this build. All your DPS guys, just use this build, it'll make it very comfortable, and then work from that as you get more experience and come away from this build. It's not needed for sure because you can control the boss, and we're going to talk about that on the build in a moment and how we control her. But that's what this video is. I've got one more video coming later today, which is the Eclipse Protocol build we use for boss 3 on this raid, so keep an eye out for that. Do hit like if you like this video and consider hitting subscribe for more content from myself. Once you're done with the video, check out the video description. There's a link to all of my Iron Horse content in there, but also a link to a fantastic community at the top. So come check us out, it'd be good to see you in there. We're going to move on to the build now. So let's take a look at the build. Now, as I said in the introduction this is primarily made to keep you up on that final phase of the final boss, and it does just that, as you saw in the clip. Now, you can still go down, especially if other teammates are around you. You take 2 or 3 rockets, you are going to go down, but if you take your time, they're not going to take you down, and in theory, you could just ignore them. However, I do run the Ravenous because we still do focus it. Not everybody's got this build. Yeah, I can survive, but if you've not got no explosive resistance on your build, you're going to go down in 1 rocket on that final phase. So the Ravenous, what you do with this, if you don't have this, you know, it is fine. You can use a grenade launcher to stagger her. You can use grenades. There's other things you can do, but this does make it easy. You just fire at her over your right shoulder and she goes into that rocket motion and you see the symbol, and then you fire it again with the left shoulder to basically get that proc, then explode and stagger her, and she won't set off that rocket. It's very easy to do with this. It's also easy to do with a grenade launcher though, so if you don't have this gun yet, obviously if you're not completed raid, you're not going to have it. Use your Eagle Bear or anything else that you're comfortable with just to do ad control. You will need to amend the mask. I've got an Overlord mask with rifle damage, as this is a rifle. My secondary I don't use, I've just got my Baker's Dozen in there, and pistol, it doesn't matter at all. I've got the grenade launcher specialization, we'll talk about at the end. But yeah, with the mask, what you want to do, if you go in with an AR as your primary, you're going to want that Fenris mask. If you go in with an LMG, you're going to want Petrov, you get the drill. So I've gone Overlord because I'm using a rifle. It's not the best here to craft this because I never had it on my build. 10% weapon damage, you get a 10% rifle damage from having one Overlord. Crit damage, explosive resistance, and crit damage mod on there as well. So that's the mask. The chest I'm using is a Unbreakable Providence chest. I've got 3 pieces of Providence on this build, so I'm getting 15% headshot damage, I'm getting 10% crit hit chance, 15% crit hit damage. This piece is not the best at all. It's got weapon damage on it, I've got explosive resistance on it. I don't want the hazard protection there, I want that to be critical hit damage. And I've also got a critical hit damage mod there, so I do need a better chest to get some more power out of it. The Grupo holster there, this is going to give me 15% crit hit damage. It's not too bad a piece really. I got 14.5 weapon damage on it, explosive resistance and critical hit damage. The backpack is another Providence piece. It's max weapon damage. I got crit hit damage on there, explosive resistance, and a crit hit chance mod just to beef the crit hit chance up a little bit. I run with vigilance on the backpack. Companion would be another good option as you always know your teammates, but I like vigilance. It increases your weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables that buff for 4 seconds. It's a very nice talent and I do like it. The gloves here, I've got Walker, Harris and Co. The one piece Walker gives me 5% weapon damage. These are godly gloves, as you can see. I got 15% weapon damage there, 10% explosive resistance and max crit hit damage as well, what I rolled on. So they're the gloves that I use. And then the knee pads is a 3rd piece of Providence, and that's got weapon damage, crit hit damage and explosive resistance. Another very good piece to the build, and that's how I've done the build. I'm sure there's many different ways you can do this to your liking. Some people might like contractor's gloves, whatever. As long as you're getting the explosive resistance on the build and you're doing good damage and you can survive, that's what this build is about, and that's what the final boss is about. It's just about surviving, going through the process and getting the job done. It's not actually that difficult once everybody is comfortable with it. And that's why I've made this build. I don't think you need this build as you get more comfortable and you go on speed runs. I actually think glass cannon's going to be the way. Maybe even implement glass cannon into this build. It's something I might try soon, just with getting a glass cannon chest on there. But yeah, it's a great build for learning this final boss and just getting through it, and then you can work from this and go forward. The skills that you're going to want to run is the revive hive. Obviously, if you go down and get you up, you don't want your teammates having to get you up, especially on this last boss. And a decoy. A decoy is great to throw out. Enemies will focus it. The boss will focus it. Mortars will focus it from the train as well. So it's a great skill to run on this. You get like every 22 seconds, as you can see there too. So it's always going down. But that is the build. The grenade launcher is what we're going to have a look at next, but first we're going to just quickly look at the stats. You can see it's only got 30.8 crit hit chance on the build with 173% crit hit damage. The crit hit chance is really, really low. If you had an eagle bearer that comes with crit hit chance, it gets you to like 40 something percent, but unfortunately there's no additional crit hit chance on this build other than that one mod slot, because you can put more on if you want with other mod slots, but I do want the damage. How I run with my team is we always run coyote masks, so even though I'm at 30%, more often than not I'm at 40%. I could even be at 50% with it if they do some long shots, and we have like 3 coyote masks on the team, so I am getting more than 30% there. But it's the best I think I could have done it. Play about with that how you like. You might want to reduce some crit damage to get more chance. But finally, before we end the video, the specialization, you definitely want to use this. Normally I say go with what you want, your playstyle or whatnot, but what's good about this specialization, especially on this final boss fight, is the brace for impact. You're going to ignore explosions, and that can happen once every 60 seconds. So that's a great talent to have proc in there for you, because as we've said, they're going to hurt you, the rockets from her in the final phase, and if this is procking as well, you really do feel kind of invincible with this build. It's really good. Your teammates are going to be getting 5% damage to targets out of cover as well, and you're also going to have some burn resistance, but that doesn't really, that doesn't take part in this last bit at all, I don't think. It's mainly just for the ignore explosions. But that's the end of the build. I hope you've liked it. If you do hit that like button and consider hitting subscribe for more content from myself. Got one more build video to show you now, which I said at the start. It's going to be the Eclipse Protocol build. It's a good method for boss 3 that we use. That's going to be released later on today, I think. That's going to both videos out today. Once that's done, we're going to do a boss by boss guide on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I think, and Thursday, so you get all those guides out as well. That is the end of the video now, guys. Thank you for watching, and just be sure to check out the video description after this for the link to my playlist for Iron Horse, but also a link to our fantastic community. Come check us out and see what you think. Until the next time, thank you for watching and peace out.